I don't know about you guys, but I feel this is something I would have brought up later on in the day when talking to Annie. Even though Stack doesn't believe in root work, it's not every day you come across a snake in your truck. That's got to be some form of, symbolic heads up to the twins in some way, shape, or form. That's got to be like, yo, maybe you guys should slow down for the day. Maybe you should open this juke joint next week. I was going to do a reach and say, this was symbolic for Remy coming for Sammy, but obviously not, because Sammy is the first person to unveil whatever the snake was hiding behind. So it's natural instinct to be like, hey, yeah, messing up my sleep now. Who are you? Who goes there?
Damn!
I love this part, though. I love this part.
Finish him!
KO! Beautiful. Gets me every time. That tag team. Beautiful. And the fact that they clipped the snake, the killing blow was in the neck as well. I might do a reach now and say maybe that's foreshadowing for the vampire biting the neck and blood, blah blah blah. You never know. It's funny, the one who kills the snake is the one saying maybe they shouldn't open the juke joint. I would have used this as an argument, or to add to my argument or my reasoning as to maybe this is a sign not to open the juke joint tonight.
How long you leave that trip, Gus?
Even the way Sammy looks at it as well. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, the blood just gushing out. I was like, yeah, that's how I said I'm going to do a reach. You could just say maybe it's a foreshadowing for the vampire, blood splatter, yada yada yada.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
I'm thinking when you sit up tonight.
For someone like me, I'll see that as two signs. After killing that snake, I'll be like, you know what? Maybe we should just hold off. Let me drive on back, speak to Annie, and then see what's up. I imagine my twin would be like, what do you mean speak to Annie? Why? Is it every day you see a snake inside truck? What do you mean why? Man, I could have added that part to the conversation and say, hey, that's probably a sign right there we shouldn't really open today. Maybe we should just do next week. I'd have used that. I mean, even after using that in my discussion with my brother and it doesn't work, then when he went to see Annie after, I would have been like, yo, listen, we saw a snake today in our truck. And then she could she'd probably be like, what, you saw a snake? Did it attack you? Yada yada yada. No, it didn't. But when it reached out, I killed it. I imagine it's something she would definitely look into. Yes, I know Stack doesn't believe in root work. That's cool. But what I'm saying is it's something that he could have subtly brought up in some way, shape, or form.
That's right.
Especially after having this conversation. It's funny how he's feeling like not opening the juke joint tonight. But I wonder where that feeling came from. Like, did he have that feeling throughout the whole day? Few days before today, the week before, the month before? Like, how long was the uncertainty sitting down inside his mind? Or maybe this is like a sign, or this scene is for us to, oh, maybe it's like a reverse thing. I'm wondering, why didn't Stack tell Annie? But maybe it's not necessarily for the characters in the movie. Maybe the scene is for us, because obviously I'm not inside Ryan Coogler's head.
What do you mean by that?
So maybe the scene is for us, the viewers, to pay attention to signs and symbols, because now I'm connecting it to Stack's feeling, because this is the first time we're hearing Stack uncertain and unsure about the opening of the juke joint tonight, and he seems more like the one who is I almost said the definitive, the one that makes the final call or final decision, but he's still convinced by his brother that now just open tonight, man. What's wrong with What's the difference between tonight and next Saturday? Why not just do it and get it over with and let it grow? But like I said, if I was him, even though I don't believe in root work, I would still use that snake as maybe that's something. And then I imagine Smoke could just tease him with like, okay, is that you talking, or is that Annie talking? Whether it's me or Annie talking, I'm seeing that as a massive significance as to maybe why we shouldn't open, because the parallel is just it's uncanny. It's in your face. They kill a snake that they find inside the truck, and next thing, after killing the snake, he just says maybe we shouldn't open tonight. He didn't reference saying maybe I've been having a bad feeling all day, and that just feels like a sign that we shouldn't open tonight. Then that makes more sense, because the feeling has been in the mind. He didn't let his brother know, and I wonder why I wonder if, hold on a minute, because they're twins, right? So they'll have that slight, subtle, soft, or strong telepathy between each other, where one twin is doubting something, the other twin says, I can sense it. Then, it's either we go for it still, or hold out until next week, like he said. But he still convinced him and said, nah, let's still, have it open tonight. Obviously, the story had to play out the same way it played out. You could almost argue that this was destined to happen the exact same way. They were destined not to bring up the snake to Annie or Mary or to anyone else, or to Annie specifically. But they didn't have a scene where Smoke told Stack, don't mention this to Annie. But it makes me wonder how the night would have turned out. Let's say Stack brought it up during the visit to Annie's house when he asked her to come help them cook for them at the event. I imagine if he brought it up with Annie, she would have done some consultation and then warned him that tonight is going to be challenging. Maybe they would have been like, hey, something's coming your way. Get prepared. But then that spoils the whole, I wouldn't say spoils, the way the story is the way the movie, occurred. That means you'd have to rejig a few things, or maybe not necessarily rejig a few things, because it doesn't believe in ancestral magic. It doesn't believe in ancestral work. We know that. But you can't deny that seeing a snake in your truck, in the truck that carries the alcohol everyone's going to partake, or most people are going to partake in the juke joint, isn't significant in some way, shape, or form. That's got to carry some weight. Even if you don't believe at all, that's got to be like a little, hey, wait a minute. What? I could argue it's for the viewers rather than for the characters, or maybe it's for both of us, the characters and the viewers, and it's like a sign as to, this is what happens when you ignore your gut feeling and signs and symbols in nature talking directly to you, directly and indirectly. When you witness a thing, or you see a butterfly, and how does it make you feel when you see a butterfly, or what feeling when you hold it onto, when you just, happen to turn your head, even though there's nothing to look for, as you're walking along your path, you just happen to turn at this angle. Ooh, it's a butterfly. Like, that's happened to me a lot. There'll be times when I'm tense or upset or angry or worried, or just in my own head with, negative thoughts, and just playing certain scenarios over and over again, not willingly. Sometimes I get intrusive thoughts, and I have to center myself and say, hey, this is not my frequency. This is from an external source, either external source, or this is subconscious programming or negative experiences coming up of its own volition. Take care of it and let it play through and let it play out, and then, hey, but not have it loop over and over again and hold on to it. I would even feel tense in my posture and mannerism. Just happen to just turn my head at the right time, and I see a butterfly. Sometimes I see different color butterflies. Sometimes I see multiple butterflies. I'm like, oh yeah, I needed to see that. Then a sense of calm just gets over me. So if I was in Stack's shoes, yes, I understand he doesn't believe in it, but it's something you'd bring up. It's definitely a very significant occurrence. A snake in your truck, in the truck that you're going to be carrying, that carries alcohol. I mean, the truck that's holding the alcohol, everyone's going to partake in.
Damn,
That boy is good.
So these are the questions I would have, brought up if I was Annie, after Stack telling her that we saw a snake today. So even if Ryan didn't necessarily have the scene play out that Stack tells her when he went home, he could have still played out in the bar. Everyone's drinking, and then maybe Sammy brings it up, because being the son of a preacher, he might see it as, hey, snake is symbolic for Satan in the Bible, right? Then Annie be like, what do you mean? Oh, we saw a snake today when we went to unveil Smoking Stack's truck. What? You saw a snake and you didn't tell me? Oh, I thought, Stack would have told you, or Smoke would have told you. Okay, what color was it? It's still something she would have found out. She'd have gone, in a private space, done the root work to seek the counsel of the elders on the other side and say, hey, apparently my partner and his brother and Sammy saw a snake today.
What does that mean?
Is this something we should be worried about? Is life at stake? Is their lives at stake? Is my life? Like, what does this mean? There are other cultures that believe in, there's that word again, believe. There are other cultures that have documented the relationship between themselves, their inner selves, and their higher selves, and nature, in terms of seeing symbols or seeing other creatures is a communication from or between self and nature, between self and the higher essence that is within us and around us. When you see a creature, it's specific to you. You could say there's a crow here, right? And there are 5 or 6 different people in the same space, and they're all witnessing the crow. Now that one crow is carrying different meanings and symbols for each person. That doesn't mean that one crow carries a negative meaning for everyone, or necessarily a positive meaning for everyone. Or it's a confirmation for someone who had a particular thought. The crow lands there and then squawks. The crows squawk, or they whatever sound they make. You know, I'm having a particular thought. The crow happens to land, and then that sound is like a confirmation or to reaffirm that thought or intention I had in my mind. So there's ways to read this, but that's why I was saying it makes sense that Stack would have brought it up. Then Annie does the root work and then says, hey, yeah, we need to brace ourselves tonight. And I imagine the twins would be like, what do you mean brace ourselves tonight? Something is coming our way that we don't know how to handle. So we have to be wise and make sure we guard the door.
What does that mean?
And then they would have given her heads up, okay, get some garlic ready, get this ready, get that ready. So even though the story is, you know, I've changed it a bit, the whole movie still plays out the same way it does, but at least they're semi-prepared in some way, shape, or form. Or not. You could, like I said earlier on, you could argue that it was destiny, as in the whole night was destined to play out the way it did, even if Stack had told Annie they encountered a snake and then he was the one to kill the snake. Because that's got to mean something.
Yes.
You see the snake, you kill it, and then you then reveal to your brother, maybe we should open another day. Come on. Me, I'd have been like, that's alarm bells right there. Ring, 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 ring.
You're all going to die down here.
Damn, son.
I'm going to drive to Annie's and say, hey, sweetheart, darling, we saw a snake today. I was going to ask you to cook for us for the juke tonight, but please do your something and let me know what that means, because I don't want to have any wahala. The fact that even I'm unsure about opening tonight and I see a snake, honey, we saw a snake today. No, it wasn't on my way there. No, it was in the truck.
What?
Yes, the truck. The truck, you put the alcohol inside.
Phone time?
No, it didn't attack Smoke. It attacked me.
What?
She's bound to be like, yo, whatever you plan on doing today, nada. Don't do it.
Don't.
Leave it for another day, you know?
He ain't lying.
Like I said, destiny, because there's this massive force of energy that was already coming towards them, whether they knew it or not. As soon as they bought the land and the mill, the KKK boys already had intention, or even before they bought the land and the mill, they already knew, okay, it's going to be a lot of African Americans, black folk coming down. We're going to have to, you know, take their money. When we take their money tomorrow, we let them have their party tonight, but tomorrow we're going to kill all of them.
God damn!
So it already had that front, you know, that attack coming from that front. And then they have Remick coming towards them. Yeah. So I've got a question to ask you guys as well. What does seeing a snake symbolize to you? In your culture, is it a good omen or bad omen? Or does it depend? Like, for example, if you see a poisonous snake on your way, does it mean something? The color of the snake, the type of the snake as well. Poisonous, non-poisonous. What does it mean in your culture? Let a brother know.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
I'm aware in certain cultures, especially back home, seeing a snake symbolizes many things. So first of all, once a person approaches a divine priest, the priest would ask, or priest or priestess would ask the person, where did you encounter the snake? To the left of you, to the right of you, in front or behind. Also, the color of the snake as well. I imagine some cultures too would deal with the size. Some would argue that doesn't really matter. Some cultures would say it does. And then how was the snake towards you? You know, if you stood still, if you did a fight or flight, either one is important as well. Did the snake just slither away, or did it, you know, come towards you, or did it cross your path in front and behind? Or did it chase you, or again, did it hiss at you? So it's almost the same thing, as similar as seeing a cat, for example. If it's a black cat or a white cat or a ginger cat, if you reach out for the cat, does it pull back, or does it, you know, come in towards you to let you stroke it? Yeah, so there are many ways at looking at these things as well. But it's something I found very, very interesting in the movie. And it reminds me of how some of us have lost that natural communication we have with nature, to just observe a thing and understand what it is. Because this scene is significant to me. You see a snake, you being the one who kills it, then reveals to your brother, maybe we shouldn't open tonight. But he didn't use that killing of the snake or seeing of the snake as a sign or symbol that maybe we shouldn't open tonight, because that's telling me, I was already thinking it, but seeing the snake is like, it's doubling up on that feeling and intuition I already had. And being that they're twins, I'm still, shocked that the other brother didn't pick up on that. But he convinces him like, hey, no, whatever reason you're feeling like this, no, we say we're going to open up something, so we do it. So I respect both, both feelings and both emotions. I wouldn't say Smoke was wrong for saying no, still open today. I wouldn't say Stack was wrong for suggesting they open next week. But because of the force of that symbology, that would reinforce my already innate feelings of not opening the juke joint tonight. But again, the movie had to play out the way it played out. That's why I said I'm thinking that scene was more for us, the viewers, than the movie itself. Always making sure one is on point with their instincts and making sure we pay attention to our inner voice. Because over the years, you tend to pick up other people's frequencies, and one isn't sure when his or her inner voice is speaking.
Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Sometimes when someone is afraid of something, and that fear itself can become such a very potent energy that it could feel like it's their intuition saying, maybe we shouldn't go out tonight, maybe we shouldn't buy that meal, maybe we shouldn't hang out with that person, even though it's just anxiety or fear. And again, we could argue that anxiety could also be its own form of communication saying, tonight ain't the right time, or now is not the right time to purchase that, or he or she's not the right person at this current time. So it's a tricky ground to navigate, and it's something I've gone through, and sometimes still go through myself as well. I always remind myself to say, hey, whatever feeling we're feeling, let's make sure that the intuition is at its purest and isn't coming from a mindset of fear or lack or confusion as well. I mean, confusion sometimes, all these things have their own parts to play in our lives, but it's the heaviness of them. So I don't like being bogged down with unnecessary frequency. I like to just make sure to say, hey, this thing I want to do is positive. It's not going to harm myself or any other person. So whatever feeling and anxiety and worry and apprehension I have towards it, I'll take my time to release it and then, revisit the feeling. Is it positive? Is it sweet as it was before? Then boom, we go for it. Because sometimes over the years, due to repetitive patterns and habits, because we're so used to those patterns and habits, it becomes second nature to us. We think those patterns and habits, we think that's our intuition talking.
He ain't lying.
When I went to the British Museum, there are two entrances normally. And the main entrance, only ticket holders used to enter the museum before anyone could go through. So you had to go through the back of the museum for those non-ticket holders. That particular day I was going, as I was heading towards the front, ask, and they'd be like, oh no, you need to. So I just said, instead of having to go through that whole route again, I'll just go straight to the back. But before I made that move, a little quiet voice in me said, nah, this time around, the front is open to everyone, and ticket holders or not, you can go through the front. But I didn't want to have to, do that whole rigmarole of going there thinking it's open, because intuition is one thing. Intuition, the feeling, well, for me, I feel the original strength of intuition is a knowing, not a thinking. The knowing and the feeling, both of them are one, not where you're wavering. There's a certainty. You're like, yep, you just walk in, you're fluid with it, no doubt.
That's right.
No hesitation, no ums, ahs, it's just fluidity. So that essence came in, but I was like, nah, I don't want to have to walk there and they tell me no. So that whole, I don't want that whole apprehension of that experience, because I didn't want to have to go through that experience again. I just said, you know what, I'm just going to go to the exact path you guys told me to go last time, just to save me that hassle of walking. I don't mind walking, but to go here, is this not the gate again? I said, nah, it's too long and you guys are almost closing. So I went straight to the back, and then as soon as I got there, they were like, oh, you need to go to the front. Dude, I did a fourth row break.
What do you mean by that?
I'm talking to the maker like, word? Really? Really, dude? Really, mama? I feel it's the years of learned behavior and learned bad habits over and over and over again. Fear, anxiety, being anxious, worrying that the thing you want, you desire, you require, especially when it's not going to harm yourself or others, but just the fact that I want this thing, and it's not like I'm copying other people into want. This thing feels like it's for me. So why can't I just get it without this hesitation or, the block? It's like something is blocking me from getting it. So it's all those experiences and then some that sometimes I feel hinders that voice from being loud. When self-doubt creeps in, that shit is not quiet. I think it's loud.
He ain't lying.
Everyone has it differently. So it's that voice sometimes, if not other times in different scenarios, it is crisp and clear. Whereas the inner one is like, hey, the front door is open today. I would like it to be louder. So I was telling my mom it'd be nice, for it to be louder. She was saying the more you pay attention to it over and over again, like, when you work a muscle and you use a muscle, the more it becomes more second nature.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Children have it. We have it as children, pure. But over the years, like I said, things gunk just occurs over and over again. It's almost like your pituitary gland or pineal gland, as they call it, getting messed up with being calcified. What the hell was that? What on earth was that? I just saw. Hey. Maybe that's a cosign to stop recording. What was that? Okay, all right. All right, let me leave the video here then. That was very interesting. I'm going to pay more attention to see if it occurs again. If it doesn't, we're going to pause the video or just end the video here. Nah, it ain't. All right, peeps. We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there because whatever that was, I want to pay attention this time. I have been your one and only what am I doing? Why am I rushing the outro? My bad. Like I said earlier on, let a brother know in the comment section what seeing a snake symbolizes for you. Those of you who are religious or not religious, and let me know what cultural background that's coming from. For example, in Nigeria, if you're Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, if you're Ghanaian as well, or if you practice Santeria, Ifa culture, Ifa tradition, whatever traditional rootage you have, be it religious or not, let a brother know what a snake symbolizes in your culture. Now I do the sign out. I have been your one and only multipotentialite, Neurodivergent host,
the Cosmic Jedi, signing out. Thank you for watching.